Welcome to Reality and Chill. Today we've got Nishi, we've got who else?
Kenny.
And special guest, Julie Sofranoski, a social media expert. We've brought Julie on and we're very, very excited, aren't we, Kenny?
Well, we've been talking about bringing our resident expert into reality and chill. It's so good to have you, Julie. I love our watch party last night. So, yes, welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, we did a little watch party for the reunion last night. We're covering the reunion this episode. And yeah, we sat and watched it on the couch last night and it was so fun. It was such a vibe. We almost wish that we pulled out the mics then and there because we just had so much to say, but we were too tired, hey?
That's so
all
true.
right. All right, let's get into it. Kenny, do you want to start off with some thoughts?
Well, yeah, I've got some big picture thinking here, just around reunions, around our expectations, the fact that this is not in the Bravo franchise. So I don't know if they fully understood like a reunion is there to resolve things. Like it's there to bring out things that have happened throughout the season and to try and get resolution for filming into the next season. I think Nick Viall did an amazing job and we can chat about him more because he's got that psychological lens. He's such an active listener. He doesn't let people get away with certain things. And he comes with so much, like he's got a really good inquiry mindset and he's got empathy as well. So I just think he did a superb job. But on the concept of how long a reunion goes, there's a reason we have part 1, part 2, part 3. It's generally a lot of drama that you're packing in there. It's covering like a lot of material. But yeah, where I thought they went a little too far, and while everybody sort of said, oh, it was a bit boring, it wasn't boring. People are exhausted and they start to switch off when you bring in things like rapes that we hadn't talked about yet or self-harm. These are big topics and I just think it was a little exhausting. But Nick Viall, amazing job.
Agree. I think, you know what, I didn't realize until you brought it up after we finished watching it because we were all so tired. Like Kendall had to have like 2 nana naps halfway
I had a nana
through.
nap.
We turned over to her. Julie's like, look at Kendall, you've fallen asleep. But she did not miss a beat. You still knew what was going on. All of a sudden she's like, yeah.
Nana naps, it was like a micro nap. And micro naps are very important because, and that's what I mean, it's so much is thrown at you. Here I am, it's the end of a very busy work week. I'm expecting to be able to unwind and I'm kind of setting myself up, reunion. I'm looking for resolution, maybe fights about stuff that's already happened. But like I say, you bring in these very big emotional topics. I might need a micro nap as my mind processes that information. It's a lot. It was a lot to take in.
It's a good point. Like we're used to reunions where it's a couple of episodes, part 1, part 2. That could have at least been a two-part episode, 2-part reunion. So 100% agree with you on there. And also we have to call out that this reunion was so far after the finale. It was, it was too far because we had to go back and rewatch the last episode just to jog our memories in itself. So they're still learning, aren't they?
Learning. Well, it's outside of Bravo, so you're not going to have that really good engine. And we sort of talked about this last night a little bit, franchises and the different people that have tried to do reunions, and it can be a fun, campy vibe, but they've never hit the nail like Andy Cohen hits the nail. But I will say Nick Viall, definitely, he is amazing. And if we do have to lose Andy Cohen, I'm sure like sometime into the future he's amassed his wealth and will just want to raise his boys, then, Nick, please step up. Nobody else has done as good a job.
Right. The first thing I was wondering about before I even watched this was, is Nick Viall going to be any good? And I was surprised, like shocked, but I was so happy. I was like, wow, he actually nailed it. I've not seen anyone run a reunion like that, obviously, besides Andy. Making everyone accountable. Like we were all nodding at his questions, just really, putting people in the corner and just holding them accountable. A lot of people, new reunion hosts, they don't know how to do that in a way that is balanced out with showing them empathy. He was, 10 out of 10. I was so impressed with him. I know even Julie, you're not a super Bravo watcher, but Julie liked, you were nodding.
I was like, and ask all the questions so we can get all the answers. I liked him. Yeah. He was really good.
He was really good. And he obviously has his own podcast. He's interviewed the girls so much. He knows a lot about it. He was really the perfect person to to do it. So, and he also interviewed Demi separately on his podcast, so we actually got to hear her side of the story as well. Super disappointing that she didn't rock up. What's everyone's thoughts on Demi not rocking up to the reunion?
I think she just tried to run away from the fact that she would have been in the hot seat. I mean, I feel like the other girls had things going on and even they were in the hot seat, let alone someone who throughout the whole season was causing so much drama. So I think she knew that that's what would happen to her. So she ran away to Disneyland.
Well, what do you think of that excuse, Julie? This Disneyland number? Do you believe Demi?
No, because at the end of the day, this is like their job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is their job. This is what they should be doing. Like, you would know that the reunion's coming up. Go after. Have a break after you're in the hot seat, not when you're meant to be in the hot seat.
Yeah, it's hashtag sounds made up.
That's what I was going to say. Hashtag sounds made up.
Yeah,
we don't believe
it definitely seemed it did. You know, it made us like a less, right? So there's just I feel like maybe it's the affair number. I think she could have handled it if there was just the normal drama of the show, but I actually think that's such a hot topic, right? This affair, it's massive with the hypocrisy of her calling out Taylor, taking down the brand like that she was trashy when she herself is like currently having an affair. I mean, is that true or not? I mean, Julie, correct me if I'm wrong here because I know you got the finger on the pulse a bit more with that.
I've seen recently actually that Jessie called out Demi and Brett for it. Like on TikTok, that's what I had recently seen, that there was something that came out about it. But like Jessie said, they can't really say much because everything's going to unfold in season 3. So it's all up in the air at the moment. It's sort of whatever anyone says at the moment. It's like, what do you believe? There's too much going on. Personally, I don't believe it. I think Demi's the one that's involved in it, but season 3 will show that.
Yeah.
Hypocrite. They get under my skin. Like, I hate that type of thing. Righteousness, you know, the royal acting like so much better. And then when, you know, you scratch the surface, they smell off. And we can sense it. Like, you know, during this season, something about her was just a little bit too righteous for me. But I'm still a bit shocked that she's actually fallen from grace that much.
Yeah. Wow. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? She's just I was surprised still that she didn't rock up, at least have a voice, but she still had everything to say in that podcast on the side. I was surprised how much she ran her mouth. I mean, it's easy, someone said it under their breath, it's easy to run your mouth when you're on the couch by yourself and you're not showing up to this.
Yeah.
Mind you, she's back in the videos. I saw a couple months back, there was like that TikTok trend that was like passing the phone to someone, and then Jessie and Demi did a video together. So they're back on terms. And then recently Taylor posted a video. I can't remember with who it was, Taylor, Demi, and someone else. And everyone in the comments is like, what's going on? Like, you know, is this just for the show? You know, is it just for like entertainment? Is it actually going on? So everyone's all up in the air and like a bit pissed that Demi's back in the videos.
It's kind of what I really like about this group of girls, though, is that they do forgive. And I really feel it's part of their Mormon culture as well, to be able to, if somebody sort of owns it, they will forgive and move on. Taylor particularly has been really good at, like, you know, throwing people a bone to bring them back into the fold. So I think that's what's going to make them such good TV, is because, yes, they're going to have these crazy falling outs. They're all a bit nuts, but they will regroup again over and over, it seems.
It's good for reality TV because we really need all of these guys in the mix to become, you know, for it to be really good. And that's why it has been so good. They all bring something really different to it. And if they can move on, that's what makes this, you know, that's what makes it. So yeah. I mean, should we break down Demi a little bit more? Like, I was just gobsmacked at some of the things that she was saying about, I've gone blank now. I just had a mental blank. How she was doubling down on Jen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was so shocked that I thought when she watches the season and finds out that Jen is going to have had prenatal depression and that's why she was, you know, not in the mix anymore, I was so I thought, that she would reflect and say, you know what, let's give her some grace. I was so shocked that she doubled down and did not give her any grace at all. I'm like,
Mm.
wow, that shows a lot about your character. Like, there's one thing to hold people to account and make them accountable, and there's another thing by just not giving them an ounce of grace. Like, really?
And what did Jen do to her exactly? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she was slighted by Jen. It's just, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That she just went after her so hard.
I think,
Yeah.
but that's sort of what Demi showed in this season, is that she was just going after who she thought was the weak links in the group so she could gain power and confidence. And Jen, unfortunately, had a lot going on. And like Jen told us in the reunion what was going on. And Demi took advantage of that. And like you said, Demi's not taking accountability for it. She's just sticking to this, villain story that this is what I stand by it, She is not taking any accountability. She doesn't care, which
She
shocks me as to
doesn't.
why she's back in videos. I don't get it. Because it's like, where do you draw the line, though?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because it's like I think they're almost forgiving to a fault. Like Taylor, for example, always bringing Whitney back in and throwing a bone. It's like, I don't know why she does that. I don't know. I'm not Team Whitney at all. I know, Julie, how do you feel about Whitney?
I am not Team Whitney at all. I think she adjusts accordingly, dependent on who she's with, just to stay in the group. And I think that we saw that with Demi. Demi was, Whitney and Demi at one point were both weak links in the group. They didn't know where they stood with Mum Talk. So they sort of had a friendship. And then in the last episode, when Demi was saying, everyone was voting and Whitney stayed in, and then Demi's like, I need time. Whitney just sat there and was like, all right, well, I gained what I needed from this. I'm back in. Everything's a transaction to her. She's like, yeah, no, I'm not a fan at all.
Julie, I
She's an
love when we were
interesting.
watching and we were just having such a laugh about Whitney because of the way we're just like, she just projects. Like, that is her core thing. She will not, like, she's so defensive all the time, and then it's just about projection. And she doesn't budge an inch. This is kind of why I like her, because unlike Demi, who I think is kind of quite strategic in her takedowns, I think Whitney is just like so fearful and is so defensive that, and I think that's probably because of what's going on in her, in a world with her marriage and everything else, that is just her only way of dealing with it, is to project and fight out that way and just not in any way budge. It's amazing. I find her really interesting to watch, Whitney.
I know. I thought it was hilarious when Nick Viall was like, Whitney, do you think you're
Yes,
more
yes.
or less accountable than Taylor? And she couldn't really answer it. She wasn't giving up a straight answer. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm the same. But which is so not true, because Taylor takes so much accountability. It's one of the greatest characteristics, is that she will just own something and then move on. She does not have an ego whatsoever. What's that?
She owns it before she needs to be held accountable. She'll admit it right before it happens, because she's like, this is what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
she doesn't need to be held accountable, because she'll own up to it before it gets to a point where it gets to with Whitney. Whitney lets things go so far, and then when she needs to be held accountable, she's like, but defensive, yada yada yada, and then she's having a go at the host, Nick, and Nick's doing the same thing to all the girls. He's asking all the hard questions.
And she got defensive. But Nick's questioning, his line of questioning, amazing, right? Because like that, you've really got to be able to think on your feet. And then just he did it so softly to just find another angle to see if he could slowly peel off a layer. And he thought, I'll try this line of questioning. Brick wall. Oh, I'll try this. And I think for us, it was so entertaining because it becomes comical in the end that, oh, wow, like she's not going to get it. Like she's not going to be able to move in that direction at all. Yeah.
She just can't do it. She cannot do it. Like, he asked in 3 or 4 ways. And then just every single time you think, just budge a little bit and just say, you know what, I probably could be better at taking accountability. No, not
on
once.
reflection. Yeah, no, not at all. Like, yeah. So she's got walls up so much that, yeah, it's really hard to get through with her. But I don't think she's mean-spirited as Demi. I just think she's so defensive. And I think Whitney could grow in years to come. We'll wait and see. But I love that Taylor just keeps on throwing her a bone. I think it's amazing. It says so much about Taylor's character.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's a little bit mean-spirited. I just think she's not as bad and as I don't think she's as manipulative as Demi. Demi is very manipulative. I think Whitney just she's more selfish. She just wants it to be about her. She just wants, she wants to be in the mix. She wants to be involved. Like that's where her angle is. She just wants to be in the limelight a little bit, which I get it. I think Demi wants to orchestrate and manipulate the whole storyline.
Demi wants to be the leader. Whitney wants to be involved, whatever the cost in terms of even her own integrity, right? So, yeah.
I think
yesterday we had a really good conversation on Taylor and about how Taylor, her account, like taking accountability as well, is how she also weaponizes that a little bit. And we see how she'll throw that. And I thought you had a really good point yesterday, Julie, on that. Like with Taylor sort of, really sharing almost too much, but then like that gives her an angle of having some type of, what would you say? Like she uses the public as almost, weaponizes the public a bit.
Yeah, I think we saw that even with the whole situation where she was hosting. I can't remember exactly what she was hosting. And obviously she's got her little TikTok minions that are like what's her partner? Dakota's like TikTok, and they're like defending her and sort of fighting her battles for her. But with the hosting and stuff, I think like she does use things not to her advantage, but at the same time, at the end of the day, this is her job. And just touching base on like what she said with the girls about not commenting on that TikTok, she is right in saying, they should have commented. It's their jobs. And immediately when no one comments on it, we all sort of think like, what's going
100%.
on? Why aren't they commenting? And I mean, to be fair, I don't get paid for social media, but if I was at a Thanksgiving or Christmas, whatever, and I see my friends doing something, I'll comment, and I don't get paid for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think my friends would also see if I didn't comment on like a friend supporting them. So do you know what I mean? I think that
she was completely valid there. I think it's just the way she goes about it, like to sort of, yeah. But yeah, I love Taylor to death. She's obviously my number one and my favorite. But I do think she's cheeky and she knows what she's doing a lot of the time as well. And that's just her way of kind of getting in it a little bit, getting an angle in. Like is it Michaela? Not Michaela, sorry. The new girl that's come back. Like with her wanting Miranda, who obviously was very embarrassed about the swinging thing, has come back because she wants to be part of Mom Talk. There's a lot of opportunities there, but she didn't really want to come clean with just how like yuck the whole situation was. And I don't know if Taylor had to go in that hard with all the details, right?
Yeah.
And that's an example where she's sort of hiding behind, I'm accountability, I'm honest, but I think as well as like poking somebody in that space, it's like, oh, okay, you want to play this down, I'm going to now really release exactly what happened. And given that it is the Mormon culture, she has children, I can understand why somebody might not want all of those details out. And was it really necessary for Taylor to go that far? You can tell she's sort of having fun with it. And it's like, and we enjoy it as an audience, right? Because it is funny, but then you reflect back and you go, it's actually not great. It's not great.
No.
Not great behaviors,
No, especially with families, kids involved, marriages,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
And you're right. She throws those things out there and it's jarring. It's like the shock factor.
Exactly.
A
So
little
it's
bit. She
entertaining
plays onto that.
initially. Yeah, that's right. And it's only when you reflect back and you go, yeah, it's not like there's nobody's harmed in that. There's people that were harmed in that, and it was unnecessary. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
very
me go
true.
through my little
Look,
list.
one thing I love about Taylor, and actually I really liked finding out, is that the girls would talk about how she gets a lot of brand deals or whatever that she passes, or not, is it brand deals or just appearances and stuff that she doesn't have time to do and she passes it on to the other girls.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, like, kudos to her. This is where I just don't think she has a big ego. Like, if it was Demi, she would not be doing that. You know what I mean? Taylor's just like, here, I can't go to this. Do you want to go? Do you want to go? Like, those type of qualities in her I just truly love and respect, and I actually liked finding out that little nugget. It just really talks to her character.
Yeah. No, agreed completely. Like, we can smell the authenticity, right? We can smell somebody that's just trying to like make money or trying to be the top dog, or she's just being herself, and that's all she needs to be. And
Right.
the one flaw is that she can be a bit naughty with releasing, with oversharing, but it does make a great TV.
Yeah.
It does. And this is where, to me, no one likes her because, I mean, her, again, not wanting Jessie to have more money than her, wanting to kick off Jessie, that whole thing, the fact that she can even do that.
Oh,
Like, I forgot about
it's
that.
a horrible person. She's actually a horrible person. I love, like, when you sort of talked about like that, taking accountability, and you look at Jen talking about, okay, during that party where, there was going to be that sort of strip thing. I get it. I should have spoke more to my husband, Zach, and sort of through that. But the way she took accountability for step by step by step, but showing how Demi had sort of laid that path for her as well, so that, like, the way Jen was explaining is that Demi could foresee her behaviours and was just playing right into it. And it's just that well thought out to bring down somebody. It's really ugly.
It is so ugly. What were you going to say, Jules? I thought you were going to say something.
I was just going to say, I think it was also just with Jen and Demi, the whole recording of that video and us getting to see that side of Demi, and Jen actually, considering she was going through everything, that, she thought to record that and expose her so we could see that this villain story that Demi has is actually right,
I know. Zach recorded it to have it in his back pocket, and boy, was I grateful that he did, because to
I still
hear,
didn't understand it. Can you guys explain it a bit better to me? Like, exactly what I was listening to there?
she was essentially you must have been having a nana nap. I was like,
I was a nana nap.
She was essentially, and it was confusing. She was essentially calling up Jen to say, hey, when you talk about the Marciano thing, here is what you should say, and here is the way that you should talk about it, and giving her line by line description of what to say, to the point where talking about herself in third party, like in
That's right, puppet master.
third person.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She's like, say Demi did this, da 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 da, and I was just like, whoa! I couldn't believe my ears. That's why I was glad that we actually heard the voice recording, because it's one to get like a recount, like someone telling us. It's another thing to hear it word for word, how much detail she was getting into, and Brett chiming into it as well.
I think that just goes to play on like the act that Marciano's putting on out there as well, because it just makes me think, has Demi said the same thing to Marciano and he's gone, okay, well, we are having this affair, I'm just going to go with it to cover her. Whereas Jen said like, no, and that's why a cease and desist was put out on her, because she wasn't going to go with that story. Whereas Marciano was like, oh, like, yeah, I'll cover her. We're having an affair. I gained something out of this. So great, I'll do it. Because where was his cease and desist? That's what I want to know.
Period. Oh my gosh, spot on. Good read. That is so true. That is so true. He's an easy person to manipulate. He just wants airtime. How much airtime has he got through this? No one knew him from Vanderpump Villa. Now he's everywhere on TikTok, and we have to look at his greasy face. Anyways, they call him a greasy rotisserie chicken on Vanderpump Villa. It's really funny. It's really funny. But yeah, he's like Jax 2.0, and I just don't trust him at all. I mean, I'm keen to see what happens with Jessie in season 3, but mate, I just don't trust anything that Marciano has to say. And yeah, and even, you know what, us seeing the text messages that Demi was sending.
Yeah, that was
disgusting.
That was so
that
disgusting.
she was sending Marciano. I was shocked. Like, girl, you're a married woman.
I
Like,
actually think some of the girls had said there something like, "Oh, she can be flirty." I think it was Whitney, correct me if I'm wrong, where she was like, "Oh, I think she can be flirty," and it's like, "But, like, you're married, why would you be flirty?" Like, I don't know many people that would go around saying things like that via text. Do you know what I mean?
no. And does Brett know about that? Like, that's what I would have
Well,
wanted to know.
actually, I was actually reading before that there is some, like, speculation that Brett and Demi are actually potentially in an open marriage that just went a little bit too far. And she went outside of this open marriage, and it began as like an affair. But in saying that, we also saw in season 2 that Brett had cheated on Demi. So there's another sort of theory that she was getting back at him. So I don't know. There's a lot going on, but it makes a lot more sense in my opinion than Jessie being the one in the affair. I don't know.
And it's interesting if Brett was in the background also coaching when Zach's recorded that call. And it's not just Demi, right? You've also got Brett in the background. So, are the two of them quite open about it? It's kind of, it's interesting. I'm really looking forward to next season to see how the whole dynamic works.
Maybe
Mm.
open marriages is like a thing with the mum talks, and they just saw what happened with like Taylor. And they don't want that to get out for them because they saw what happened to Taylor when, people found that out about her. Maybe they were keeping it under wraps quite well until Marciano came along.
I definitely don't think Michaela and her hubby, how sweet was he? And
No.
they just seem like such a couple in love. I just think it's like there may be a couple of instances, but I just don't think I don't think it's like a mom talk thing. I just think, there's just a few couples that have partake. Yeah, that's
play
what I
into
think.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
full on. I like Jessie. This I think she's obviously really coming into her own now that she's not under Demi's sort of wing. She looks so gorgeous. We were all talking about it. How nice does she look in the reunion?
Yeah, with her new hair color.
Yeah,
her
she
new hair
looked
colour.
great. Yeah, she looked younger and fresher, didn't she?
I know. I'll be really sad to see if they're Jules, do you know the tea? Like, do you know if she's with her man?
No, and I think that's because in the reunion, they want it all to unfold, and she said like things would come to the light. So I think they would, regardless of whether they are or not aren't together, we wouldn't find out until it airs. I think that's like a whole big thing about it that we won't know.
Yeah, it's the main storyline, isn't it? For season 3. Interesting. Who else is there?
All right, should we touch on on Layla?
Layla. Yeah.
Layla, she shared so much, and at the same time, I'm not as invested in her. Like, how there's different people, and I don't know what it is about Layla, but even throughout the season, I kind of liked her, but I just never really got excited when I saw her on the telly or heard her storylines. And then again, I know she shared a lot with the self-harm and stuff, but I'm a bit, how do you guys feel?
I feel the same. I feel like she's neither here nor there, to be honest. Which is weird. I don't know why. I thought it was because she doesn't share as much or she's quiet. But then Michaela is not as involved. She kind of sits on the sidelines. But I'm drawn to her and Macy a lot more. I don't know. I'm not that much of a fan either. I don't know.
I think Layla just sort of keeps to her own. She doesn't really say much. Whereas like with Michaela at least says like, she's got the thing going on with Whitney, but Layla doesn't have sort of anything going on with anyone other than that whole big O situation. When I think of season 2 and Layla, all I'm thinking about is that her not getting her big O. Like that's all I remember.
Yeah.
That's
She's
a
like
good
an
point.
extra almost.
Yeah, like she's creating her own bubble of drama, but it's not actually with the rest of the group, right? She is a little bit, and that's probably part of it. It's just like it's like a weird storyline that's got nothing to do with the rest of the women. It's kind of strange. But yeah, anyway, so I don't really care to see that much more of her. I think I know that's harsh, but like she didn't excite me. But Michaela, I love her.
Same.
Yeah, I love Michaela.
She's just so real and authentic, isn't she? Like I love that she stands up for what she thinks and she will not back down.
She's amazing. She is amazing. I really, really like her. I really like when they were talking her and forgotten her name, but when they were talking about Whitney and all the support they'd given Whitney,
Macy, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Macy. I really like Macy as well. But yeah, how much support that and really breaking it down. And I know that was the beginning of the questioning with Andy, but it was, with Nick. But it was just so funny because again, Whitney cannot see it. Like it wouldn't matter what they'd done to support her. Like she's still the victim. Like it's so bizarre. Yeah.
I know. I love Michaela. I think she's just so real and authentic. I hope she talks a little bit more and just really expresses how she feels. I feel like she's still a little bit introverted. But I adore her, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Julie, you like her too, don't you?
I do like her. I think obviously she doesn't like Whitney. We've seen that. And I think during the reunion, I felt like it was nice that her and Whitney sort of spoke out a little bit. But I feel like when they hugged, it was so awkward. Like Michaela was
I
sort of
agree.
like, I was like, why are you pushing that? Like it's a bit awkward.
Yeah.
But I think even now they are also posting videos together, which has also sparked some controversy on TikTok where people are like, I thought you weren't friends, like what's going on? So I'd be interested to see in season 3 whether they do rekindle their relationship or not, or whether Michaela's still going to be Team Hate Whitney.
That's a good point. I was shocked to see that they were actually doing TikToks together. Like, I don't think anyone expected that. But it sounds like they did connect on the situation with Whitney's partner, and I actually thought it was so sweet, like Whitney's partner reaching out to Michaela, and that actually triggered Michaela to start therapy, which was pretty full on,
Really nice.
pretty crazy. But I thought, like, kudos to Connor, especially considering that Whitney and Michaela weren't getting along. He still went out of his way to speak to her.
Yeah.
Says a lot about him. It
It's
was
like
really
real life versus drama, right? And
what really matters in life, hey? Like, it was really heartbreaking to see Connor's story, though. I was like, whoa, this is a lot, really full on, like literally almost brought me to tears.
Yeah, that was really sad, especially with everything that was going on in like season 1. It sort of, we didn't really see like too much of it, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, in season 2. So for it to come out at the reunion, this like whole big thing, I feel like it was quite a big shock.
True, actually. Everyone was shocked. Even the cast members were shocked. They were all shocked.
Yeah. So apparently they had covered it and it hadn't come through with the edit. So, but for us as the audience, like this is brand new information for us. So it's quite shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really full on. Yeah, another one of the big things that was hard to sort of swallow. But yeah, I don't know. It was nice seeing him. Any of the other husbands we need to talk
I
about?
just
What about
based on Macy's husband crying the whole time and being such an empath? That was so sweet. And him just being like, I'm a girl dad. That was so cute.
He was bawling his eyes out, like to the point where I thought, has he been through something and this is triggering him?
Yeah.
But no, he's just, yeah, you're right. You were like, he's just an empath. He was literally bawling his eyes out. So sweet. I love him and Michaela's husband. I just think they're just so out of the drama. Really
Same.
Sweet.
Jace is so far out of the drama.
But
yeah,
then
I didn't
you can see both of them being really decent people as well, both Michaela and Macy. So you can just see it's like they're two couples you can really root for, you know, like, the good people.
Absolutely. What about
my
Dakota?
God.
Oh, go on.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say Dakota, just how toxic him and Taylor are. Like, come on.
They're still together, still hooking up. I'm just like, wow, it's been ages. They just, I mean, Nick was right in saying that one of you guys needs to not man up. I don't know what the right word is, but like, you know, draw a line in the sand and sort of move forward. Like they need to heal. They're not healing at all. And I think Jules, you said it, like they need to heal separately.
Yeah, they do need to heal separately. I feel like they need to take a little bit of like a leaf out of Whitney and her husband's book. Oh, wait, was it Whitney? No, Zach and Jen. And they're like 9 hours of therapy a week, you know? They're like Dakota and Taylor could do with some good.
Do some ketamine therapy, do some one-on-one therapy, do some sort of therapy, guys.
Yeah, so true.
That's a very, toxic relationship.
I mean, that's a really good point. Look how far Jen and Zach have come. Obviously, they've had like not nowhere near as much toxicity and all that sort of stuff, but they have come so far. Zach's like a different person this season.
Yeah, he's really sweet now. He really did a 360 season 2.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even know whether Dakota and Taylor have done any therapy at all. Like they haven't talked about it, so I don't think they've done anything. I mean, they've got a kid now, a new baby. They need to do something.
It's a really good example, though, of like why we watch reality TV and like predicting behaviors. This is one of the first times we've seen like a couple just really work together, change their behaviors, and not put themselves, not having to be right, working on both their issues for the betterment of their family. It's such a good example for everybody else out there. It's like, okay, this is how you do it. You know, we've got some good behaviors to model here. Whereas, yeah, obviously Taylor and Dakota, it's a toxic dump and obviously not good for the kids. So yeah, they should review the whole season and think about what's next, because I really don't want to watch another season of it, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm.
There's so many, like, to hear that Dakota is still lying, and like Taylor was saying, oh, I just found something out last week. I'm like, gosh, is this a lost cause? This almost feels at this point it's a lost cause. Like, just go on your merry ways, do your own healing, and if for whatever reason you are, you know, mature enough at some point to get back together and have a good relationship at that point, then do it. But for now, it is a no-go.
Yeah, they're like too trauma bonded.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? She just can't. I'm surprised because Taylor comes off as being someone really strong, but you know what? I guess that doesn't matter. That it's still hard to walk away when they are trauma bonded like that. You see it time and time again. We'll talk about last night.
I think it's actually interesting as well in the reunion that we saw Dakota sort of open up about like his addiction, which like I get, like I felt really sad for him and his addiction, but I sort of felt like he was sort of trying to cover what he did or like justify what he was doing, you know, at the time when him and Taylor started dating. And then, you know, immediately Taylor, you know, takes accountability and goes, yeah, like I was bad too. And it's like, that's the problem you guys are having. You guys just go, oh, I did bad. I did bad. Yeah, we both did bad. And it's like, but you aren't, you know, actually trying to work things out or separately heal from the things that is causing you to do bad in the relationship. That's why you can't get past it and heal.
Yeah. Like we said, it's like having you know, a deep cut that's started to like scab over, but if you put it under any stress, it's just going to reopen and reopen. You need like maybe a good 4, 5, 6 months for that to like get to a point, and it you know, and it takes years before it's like, oh, it's really firm tissue now, you know, and they need to treat it like that. It's just there's so many woundings that have happened that they actually need time just for that basic, and then they can communicate again. But right now they're just gonna like there's nothing to work with, you know.
No. And there's a really good saying, I think, that's like you can't feel better in the same place that made you sick. And like going back to the same thing and it's not changing. It's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Let's see what happens next season. But you're right, Kenny, I don't think I can watch another whole season of that.
It's hard now. I feel like we're getting less tolerant as an audience, like watching toxic relationships happen season after season. I think it's becoming a thing that the audience is starting to sort of say, no, like we don't want that. And it's actually dangerous because you don't want to accept it. It's like you then, yeah,
exactly. That's absolutely true. And
yeah, Zach and Jen, you're welcome back. Season, you know, we can't wait to see you again now. You know, we're so excited for you. We're all rooting for you. Sorry, Nish, I cut you off.
No, that's all right. Yeah, I was going to say, and you're right, we don't tolerate the toxic stuff as much. But again, when there's a baby, a kid involved, that's when it's just like, no, guys, that's too far. Sort it out.
Yeah.
We don't want to sit here watching and encouraging that type of behavior. But yeah.
I wish Taylor's mum had made an entrance. That would have been hilarious, but it didn't happen. Maybe it's all my love affair with Next Gen that I like to see the parents come in now.
I mean, she's pretty much deserves a spot on the couch. I would argue she deserves a spot on the couch more than Miranda, I would argue. Actually,
What,
Miranda,
like I said, other than feeling really awkward when Taylor was oversharing, what did she bring to
nothing.
like Macy didn't say much either. I mean, she was sort of
No.
there with, but I really liked Macy, but she didn't really add like anything else except sort of talking about, with Michaela, how Whitney just wasn't listening. But but even less so, right? So what did she bring?
Yeah, I did. I don't think she deserved a spot on the couch the whole reunion. I think she should have been brought in for, a scene
I
or
guess.
two,
Yeah.
a guest. But no way, she shouldn't be. She shouldn't be on the couch. Like, she obviously came into the season wanting to clear her name, or maybe in for some clout and wants to be a part of the crew. Bit of both, maybe. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. But yeah, I don't think she deserved a seat.
I like her. I think she's got every right to come in and, being an original mom top
True.
person, getting scared off from, the whole it coming out about the swingers. Now, separated from her husband, single mum. I want her to be there, but like she's just such a fence sitter, I think. And I know she's still friends with Demi and that. She's like, she's been playing both sides. I feel like she feels very jealous of Taylor. I think there's an underlying thing. I think that's why Taylor's doing her little jabs like where she does. But yeah, she didn't really like there just wasn't much there.
Yeah. I don't think she deserves to be there. I'm not a fan of Miranda. I don't think she does much for the show. I only think she came back in season 2 because she saw season 1 do so great. And
Yeah.
if she was honest and wanted to clear her name, she should have done that when Taylor was going through that whole TikTok drama and everyone was blaming her for everything. Miranda denied it the whole time until season 2 came along and she's like, oh, okay, now I'm ready to say my piece. And then at the reunion, when Taylor was making her little jabs, Miranda again denied, oh, I don't know anything about that. So it's like, it can't
Right.
cost you
Okay.
though, because you lied the whole time and now all of a sudden you don't know again.
So, Julie, this is why we need you, because I didn't understand that is what had happened. That for Taylor, like I knew obviously from season 1, like that something had happened in the background there. But yeah, so was she bullied or something when this first came
She just
out for
got
being a
blamed
swinger?
for everything because no one else sort of like said, oh, we were involved and stuff. And when she did say things, Taylor came in with the receipts and was like, oh, but I have videos of her and I kissing and her and I, whatever they did. And Miranda the whole time kept her mouth shut. And then in season 2, still at the beginning, I'm pretty sure she didn't really say, like, admit that she was involved until a couple of episodes in, where she sat at that ranch with Taylor.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't trust her. At the reunion, I didn't trust her when she said, I don't know anything about that whole whatever shower situation. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I was like, get off the
Yeah.
show, to be honest. No offense.
Oh, thank you. That gives me another perspective there because I think maybe what was it's kind of sad as well because it was her husband that Taylor had that kind of like affair or outside of the swinging space, what the agreement was. So yeah, there's definitely beef between those two for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Chase that happened with? I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's definitely going to be underlying something.
That's a pretty big wound for, your husband and a friend. Like that will take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, look, with Miranda, I know what you're saying in terms of her being an OG and she should have a seat. I agree, but you also need to earn your seat to stay there. And I just don't think she's open enough.
Yeah.
We always say it, like, you have to be somewhat authentic. If you're going to be on reality TV, you got to bring it.
Reality TV, you like once you've crossed that threshold, there like that's it. Like you've made a decision to like open up your life. And so yeah, the audience doesn't like it if you tell half truths. If you're only going to give us like 60%, we want to that's what you came over to do. So yeah, you're quite right. Yeah, I just don't think she's cut for reality TV. And I can understand why that would be so difficult in a Mormon culture. Like how
Yeah, absolutely.
like the cost of going down that path is massive, but you're quite right. So you can't do both though. You can't get all the opportunities. and
tell her.
yeah, and not share. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a tricky situation as a single mum to make that decision. She's trying to do it right now. Let's see what
She is.
happens. Yeah.
And she's obviously filming them season 3, so she's still there.
Yeah.
I wonder whether she will bring a lot more, because I reckon she would get some sort of feedback to say, look, if you don't bring anything, you won't continue in. And there is a little bit of drama with her and Demi from the trailer. I don't know what it was, so it'd be interesting to see if she sort of turns it up a notch.
When does season 3 start airing?
I'm pretty sure it's the end of this year. They've said later in 2025, but there's no like release date just yet.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
What else you said? I feel like, is that almost everyone? Have we missed anyone out?
I feel really comfortable with how we've covered it. Like, that's what we cared about, right? Like, if nothing else has screamed out to us, it's because it wasn't important enough in our minds.
Yeah, I'm looking at my notes and I didn't really have anything else to talk about. So I feel like that is a wrap. Wow. Season 2 reunion of Secret Lives.
Thanks,
Are we
Julie. That was
excited? I
awesome that
know.
you
Thank
joined
you,
us
Demi.
for the Mom Talk ladies. We've appreciated you. It's awesome.
I know, it's been so good. You're going to come back, aren't you? Are you excited to come back and chit chat with us?
Are you ready to be a Hey You membership person and start watching all the Bravo shows, all the Housewives? It's a commitment, but it's well worth it. Like, the payoff is there, Julie. You have to have the vision,
I'm
you know,
already
and
excited
just
on it.
dive in.
She's just like, we somehow conned you to coming in. But you know what? You've been
Well
so
done.
good. Well
Yeah.
done. I don't know. Kudos to you. You actually added such a great combo. So we're wrapped that we had you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. But yeah, that's a wrap for this episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will chat to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye guys.
Bye.